What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the live. We got the technology figured out this time for on-time start. Today, we will have a few guests in the show. Sarah will be coming on in 10 minutes, and then Troy, and then we'll have a new guest and followed up with Ben. I will be answering all of your questions, and when we do have guests in, if there's a relevant question for them, they will get a question. And after they come in, I'll go through and answer any questions that were not answered. So thank you guys so much for tuning in today. Really excited to have you on the live, and we'll get to the comments in just 1 second. I hope everybody did get a chance to see the last production update that went out yesterday. Had some good information about where we're at in production, all the bikes that have shipped out, and other information, all the challenges, of course, that we faced for the last week. So pretty interesting read if you give that a read. And also, just a reminder, please take a second to subscribe so you see the next video first. All right, without further ado, let's get into those questions. Andrew Chung, is shipment begin on Friday? How long will it take to arrive approximately? So it looks like you're talking about the UK shipment. What is your reference with regard to possible tax for UK backers? There are taxes. What will you do for people who were supposed to get the bike last September before any additional duties were due? Andrew, great question. So the latest I've heard is that UK shipment is supposed to leave on the 13th, which is Saturday. So February 13th is when it was scheduled to leave. So Troy may be able to confirm the details once he's in here. Once his time starts, we'll ask him on that. In regards to the tax, that's something we've been doing some back and forth on. You probably saw that on the update. So there's been a lot of speculation. Maybe there's zero taxes. Maybe there's VAT as there initially was. It looks like there will be some tax for the UK. And as far as my understanding, I believe it's the same exact tax as it was from before Brexit. So I don't think there's going to be any change in how much is assessed. We're coming to the final kind of back and forth with the accountant exactly how to handle it right now. But it looks like there will be some tax for the UK, but it won't be anything different as far as I know, than it was before Brexit. Chris Link. Chris, great to see you on here, brother. Low volume locations. You haven't asked about it, but those we're making good progress on getting all the freight quotes, etc., for each location. Mackie's been working really hard on that. And after the Chinese New Year's holiday, because both our Chinese facilities are shut down, that's where the low volume location bikes will be sent from. After the Chinese New Year holiday, we'll pick up and start shipping the very first of the low volume location bikes. So expect to hear some exciting updates from us over the coming weeks. FDC068. Hi, Rob. Can you inform us about the weekly production capacity of the Spanish factory? Danny, it really varies. One, depending on what all is going on there. Two, the biggest constraint has actually been components, what components are available. When things are cranking, though, a lot of bikes can be produced. Exactly how many per day or per week, that's kind of impossible to say. Troy might have some more information on that, but it certainly varies a lot based on what's being built, what's available, what else is on their plate, and as you know in Europe, there are in Spain a lot of holidays, etc. So we're doing our best to crank out as many bikes as possible from there. Luckily, there's a lot less to build in the Spanish factory than we do have at our two Chinese facilities. It only represents about 15 to 20% of the total orders being built there. Mark Mayu, hello Rob, all ears here. Hey Mark, great to have you on the live. Chris, I'm here for Sarah, bright and early for a change. Awesome, Chris. Yes, Sarah will be the first guest on the live today. Eugene, great to have you. How's your baby maker running? I love the modifications you've made to it. It's looking really sweet, really sleek and sexy. Chris says he's back in 10. Nuno, what's going on? Great to have you on here. Chris, when run out of battery, when commute, how heavy will the bike to pedal? Is it mild or very heavy? Is it big difference in terms of pedaling with non-e-bike pedaling? Chris, it's going to be very similar to pedaling a single speed bike. If you've ever ridden a fixie, it's going to ride just like that. However, the bike is a little bit heavier than a single speed. If you have a fixie, you're talking 20, 25 pounds, and the Baby Maker is 30 to 35 pounds. So you've got some extra weight on it. It will be a little bit heavier to push, but very similar experience, especially gear ratio to that fixed gear bike. Kind of, I'd compare it to like a beach cruiser if you've got no battery. Nuno, I received the email your FLX bike order has shipped last Friday, but until now, nothing on the tracking number. Nuno, please give that a couple days. Sometimes FedEx will make the tracking number and it doesn't update in their system for a couple days. So you said last Friday. It has been a few days. Did you get a tracking number with that, or are you waiting on the tracking number? Nuno, in Portugal. Got you. If it's in Portugal, the system may not be linked up there because we do input the tracking numbers through Indiegogo, so it's going to be a non-standard carrier for their website, so they might not have the tracking linked up. So that's a good question that we want to ask Troy on, exactly who is the carrier and how we can track it. Chris, I can't tell you exactly when those will be received. Only that the first ones will start going out after the Chinese New Year holiday, and there are a lot to ship, but we'll start cranking them out basically, in order of how can we get the most amount of bikes out the fastest and make the most people happy the fastest. So that's how we'll attack the low volume locations, and it's similar to what we did with all the bikes. We went with where do we have the most orders? How can we get them the most amount of bikes in the shortest amount of time? Joel, where is my Baby Maker, Rob? I'm on DC. It's 5 months late. Please, I can't wait. Joel, I hear you on that. It's totally agonizing wait. Your Baby Maker is in production. Every Baby Maker is in production. It has been for quite some time. It's taken a little bit longer than we initially estimated. That's why we provided estimates on the time, but we unfortunately can't make any promises on exactly when the Baby Makers will arrive because there are a lot of unknowns in the process. When we started the campaign, it's a new bike, a bike we've never made before. So we do our best to provide estimates. A lot of bikes ship before the estimates. Most of the bikes are shipping later than the estimates, unfortunately, and we're so sorry about that. But thousands of bikes are going out every month. We've sent out 1,700 shipping allocation notifications just last week alone. So really picking up speed here, and almost all the bikes will be shipped over the next few months here. So it's just around the corner, Joel. You've waited this far. We're well past the halfway point, and your bike will be there soon. Angela Addison, when are bikes due in France, please? Angela, we have delivered some bikes to France already. Our first couple of European shipments have already gone out, and there will be more. So our next shipment in that area goes to the UK, and then after that, a shipment to EU, and we'll kind of move back and forth there. So bikes will continue to be shipped to France over the coming weeks. Bondi Peter, patiently waiting for my tracking number from the shipper for delivery into Bondi, Sydney. Keep up the good work. Hey, thank you so much, Bondi Peter. Really excited for you to get the bike. And we did see in the official Baby Maker Owners Club on Facebook that the first bikes have been delivered into Australia, I believe 2 days ago. So super exciting. We're seeing some bikes being ridden around Australia, and I believe yours should be just around the corner. Bondi Peter. Andy, is tracking number from Indiegogo or FedEx? Troy will correct me if I'm wrong, but we get all the tracking numbers and then import them into Indiegogo. Once they're in Indiegogo, Indiegogo will send you an email saying, hey, your order shipped, here's the tracking number. So it will be a FedEx tracking number from Indiegogo. And we do have a special guest in the studio today. Give it up for Sarah.
What is up?
All right, Sarah, how are you doing today?
I'm tired, but I am doing well.
Why are you tired?
I did not get a lot of sleep last night, but that is okay. It's my own fault.
You were out biking all night, weren't you?
I wish that was what I was doing. My dog kept me awake. he was in the bed with me and he couldn't settle, and so he woke me up multiple times.
Oh my God.
Not a cool story.
Tell us about your dog.
My dog, well, Randy, he's a German short-haired pointer. I got him this summer during quarantine, and he is a trained bird dog, so I got him for bird hunting.
That's awesome. Randy is so cute. He works right next to Sarah in the warehouse. Sarah's been working the whole winter in the cold warehouse. She has her little corner set up just so she can bring Randy to work and have Randy by her side. And Randy's tied up next to her desk.
Yeah,
Super cute.
Couldn't handle leaving him at home, so that's where we are.
Super cute. All right. What are some, besides where's my bike, which is the absolute highest requested question, any other common questions we've got over the last couple weeks?
Just our normal, regular, like, can I change my baby maker order? Can I change what I ordered to make it come sooner? I've been getting that a lot recently. People wanting to switch their order up, hoping that I'll move their place in line. Just to answer your question, we can't adjust orders after 10 days. Just the reason for that being is after those 10 days, we send your order to the factory. So even if your order does get changed, it actually would make it take longer, not any shorter. So yeah, that. We've started working on Shopify orders today. So today I've been knee deep in spreadsheets. Ben gave me a list of orders going out. So I was making sure that those were all set to jet. So that's
Great.
Super exciting.
Set to jet. Those are our website orders for everybody who's not internal to the company. Great. Hey, Chris says, good to see you, Sarah. How are you?
Hi, Chris. I am doing well. I'm having a good day, actually. I enjoy spreadsheets. I'm a weird one. I like looking at the numbers and going through. So that's one of my favorite parts of my job.
Can I give you my spreadsheets to do?
Not yours.
Oh, man. Chris says, come to Indonesia. It's warm here, Sarah.
Oh, yeah? I bet it's warmer than it is here. It's kind of cold today. It was cold yesterday, too.
Oh, yeah. Maybe you can hand carry a bike or two.
If I hand carry any bikes, I'm hand carrying them to my garage, not to Indonesia.
Sarah, if you guys don't know, Sarah is still waiting on her baby maker. Is that right?
I haven't gotten mine yet either.
She's been leaving me bad reviews and stuff. Just kidding. Yeah, so Sarah's got a baby maker. It's still not here yet. That just goes to show, we're giving everybody their baby maker in the order it was received. Even our staff here.
Yeah, mine doesn't come any quicker than anybody else's. I haven't even been allocated to a container yet.
Totally. Brad, getting excited in Australia, paid the GST on the second. Bike here any day now. Rob, curious on how the GST was calculated. It seemed less than it should be for 10%. That's not a complaint. Brad, we do our best to make sure the taxes and all those payments are as minimal as possible and still be completely legally compliant. So I don't know the exact details on that, but I would certainly not look that gift horse in the mouth. And congratulations. I'm glad it was less than you expected.
Yeah, we don't pocket any of the taxes, the GST. That all goes directly to the government. It doesn't come to us. So we try and make it as low as we can and do everything as legal as possible. So
totally. Brent says define cold.
Okay, so California,
San Diego cold.
California cold is a little bit different because the cold here is like chill to your bone cold, but yeah, like 60 degrees.
Compared to Alaska, though?
Yeah, well, Alaska's more of a dry cold. When
Okay.
you're closer to the ocean, the cold is just like, of course, 50 below is more miserable than 50 degrees. But
Yeah.
the cold here, I hate it.
Because it's a humid cold, so
Yeah.
it really
So it's
gets you.
super dry in Alaska.
Okay, Michael, David, are bikes being shipped by most popular colors or by order numbers? I ordered the blue raspberry, which is not a popular color. My order number is 9652, ordered April 2020.
So we are shipping bikes, by order date as best as we can. But with that being said, some bikes are ready to ship before others, but we're not picking color favorites. So we are doing them in batches, but yeah.
Yeah, so to expand on that a little bit, Michael, there's been so much speculation, and I get it because we haven't provided as much information as most people want, but there's been a lot of speculation on how we send them out. We do our absolute best to do it in terms of order date. When you placed your order, no matter if you ordered on our website or on Indiegogo, doesn't matter what bike you ordered, we literally look at it. Okay, this guy ordered first, this guy, they get their bikes. But due to availability of components and exactly how we produce them, and also the country they're going to, sometimes there's a little bit of discrepancy where, okay, we don't have these 3 Sterling bikes ready to go, so we'll pick the next 3 people in line. Once those Sterling bikes are ready in the next batch, they'll go out. So there's a little bit of discrepancy, but 95% of the orders all do follow that order.
That was part of what I was doing today, actually, when I was looking at our website orders, the sheet that Ben gave me. I went through each and every one of them and all the orders in our system just to make sure that, people that ordered the earliest were the ones that were actually getting them the earliest. So I was checking everyone's order dates. So we do the best that we can in that.
Thank you for that, Sarah. I'm sure they appreciate it. Chris says, we're like brother and sister. Aw. Thank you, Chris. Tema says, if you guys are fair and sending first in, first out, then why don't you guys tell us until what date do you have fulfilled the order? Temis, again, just as I was saying, there are discrepancies due to which countries we've shipped to. For example, Australia, 97% of the bikes have all been delivered there, which is all the order numbers except for 3% of them. And in the US, we're at 52%. In the UK and the EU, we're at around 20%. So there's a big variance in those order numbers, and as well with the availability of components, colors, etc. There's no exact cutoff. There's a little bit of a mix, but it all moves forward. Andy says, thank you. Thank you, Andy. Hey, it's good to have you on the live. All right, Sarah, why don't you tell us a story about your first day at FLX? How was it?
To be honest, I don't really remember my first day. I told them about my interview last time. That was funny. Oh, I do. So when I first started working here, Rob used to get these natural energy drinks. He used to order them off Amazon, I think.
Okay.
And that was when Nano and Austin were still here.
Okay.
And about mid-afternoon, we were all just kind of hanging out. We were doing inventory in the back or something, or maybe we had just stocked up. But I know it was my first or second day, and I wanted to show them how fast I could shotgun. Yeah. But it wasn't drinking time yet. So
can you explain what shotgunning is for the folks who don't understand it?
Oh, okay. So shotgunning, it's you put cans to the side, and then you put a hole in the can just on the side, and then you pull the tab on the front and then tilt it back and drink it as fast as you can. Normally it's with beer, but
so by having 2 holes, you get air in one side and liquid out the other. You can drink it faster.
Yes.
That's the point.
So it shoots it down your mouth. But those energy drinks that we had in the fridge, I made them all do it with me.
Okay.
And so we just shotgunned the energy drinks and then continued working for the rest of the day. And I still have pictures of it, and I really cherish those pictures. It was really fun.
That's funny. No time to even drink an energy drink. That's how hard we have them working.
I think it was really hot, too.
That's funny. Ken is quietly listening in. Ken, it's great to have you on here.
Hi, Ken.
Al Kwan, order 1522, BM Pro Orange Drop 23, and haven't had any delivery confirmation. It's 2 containers have left China, and deliveries are making their way there. Any update? Al, we don't have a specific update on your order. Unfortunately, there's no way for us to tell until we've allocated your bike from, the bikes leaving the factory. Until then, we don't have a way to say, hey, exactly where it is in production. But once it gets to there, you will receive the notification from us. If you'd like more specifics, every week we do have the Indiegogo update, which has got the most details we can possibly get out at one time in those updates. So I'd really advise you to check those out every week. They are emailed to you if you ordered on Indiegogo, and also join the lives. That's great. James, I just received my baby maker yesterday. I never received an email from Indiegogo with tracking number. I did receive an email from Indiegogo that the order had been delivered. James, thank you for letting us know. That's something we'll have to look into and make sure that people are getting tracking numbers. We'll definitely check with Troy on that.
Unfortunately, I think a lot of those emails have been going to people's spam folders. So what I've been encouraging people to do is you can add our email. Sorry, I can't find my words here. You can add the shipping email that comes from us to your contacts and your email information, and that will keep it from going to spam. And that's shipping@flx.bike. So that's saved a lot of people from that email going to their spam folder.
Great idea on that. Shipping at flx.bike, add that to your contacts. And also the emails from Indiegogo as well. James asked about that. What can we do to get more notification from Indiegogo? If you're not receiving our emails with the production updates already, you can go log into Indiegogo and follow the campaign. I think there's a little heart at the top right of the campaign. If you click the follow button, you'll start receiving our production updates. You should get those by email. All right. Chris says, change it with liquor, Sarah. And Mark says, Sarah, the party girl.
Oh, jeez.
Michael,
Maybe I should have picked a different story.
thanks, Rob and Sarah. You answered my question. We'll continue to be patient. Thanks. Hey, Michael, hugely appreciate your patience. Sarah certainly does.
Yes, I do. Thank you so much.
All right, Matt Black. Is the UK order still due to ship on the 13th? If so, do you know roughly how many days they'll take to arrive in the UK and start arriving at our doors? Excited to get out and eat some mileage. Hey, Matt, we're going to ask Troy on that. He should have the latest update as he's our first point of contact with the Spanish facility. So I'll save that one for Troy. Alquan said it's supposed to be sent to Canada. So we have shipped, I believe, 85% of our orders to Canada. I'm going to give you guys a rundown on the stats in a sec. Actually, Sarah can give the rundown on the stats. And then we'll run through and answer some more questions. All right. Do you mind reading our... So this is... What is it, Sarah?
57% for the U.S., so 57% of the bikes in the U.S. have shipped. We're at 20% in the U.K., 22% in the EU, 86% in Canada, 99% in New Zealand, 97% in Australia, and we are still working on the details for our low volume region. So we're working really hard on that. I know Mackie has been working hard.
Goose egg on the low volume location, 0%. We're getting there, guys. Sorry if you feel left out. That's on us. We will get there. And one more caveat, the UK bikes, there is an asterisk there. That we jumped the gun a little bit on that because we did send these shipping notifications, but those bikes were scheduled to leave on the 13th. So that 20% represents those first bikes going out to the UK, which are scheduled for the 13th. And we'll confirm that date with Troy. So to answer your question, Al, in Canada, sorry, 86% in Canada have been shipped. So I would hope that yours is on there. Chances are yours is on there. So please check your spam folders. If not, it will be in a future shipment to Canada, which won't be too far off now. Okay, Pierre, that's a great question for Troy. Last question for you, Sarah. If we don't see or respond to email, will our bike get delivered anyway?
Yes. So the first email we send out to you is just to confirm your address and your order details. So if you don't respond to it, we will send it anyways. And then the second email you'll get is with your delivery information. If you don't respond to that, your bike still will ship.
Awesome. All right, Sarah. Thank you so much for coming on the live and for always killing it.
Bye, guys.
Big round of applause for Sarah. She is an incredibly hard worker, just killing it, and cares so much about you guys getting your bikes and being happy with them. She's up late hours on weekends, etc., when she's not supposed to be working, in the Facebook group, making sure there's no issues with bikes that have shipped, etc. Really, really an all-star. So when you do get a chance to deal with Sarah by email, etc., please show her some love. All right, I'm going to see if I missed any questions and also fix this microphone a little bit. Here we go. Pierre, again, I'll save your question for when Troy is in. It's about the next shipment to, oh, there we go. Man of the hour. All right, we got Troy in the house here. What is going on, Troy?
I am well.
Let me pull this up so you can see yourself. All right. So, Troy, I've deferred so many of these questions to you. I'm glad you're here.
Okay.
The biggest question for you is about the first shipment to the UK. Do we have any update on that from our facility in Spain? Are we still set to go for the 13th? Any news on that?
That's a little dicey. I'm not thinking we're gonna make that.
Really?
Honestly, no, I
Okay.
don't think
What's
so.
the
It's
latest
a
from them?
Saturday. I think we're probably looking at early next week.
Early
Yeah,
next week.
Yeah, we had a couple of component shortages that we're working on clearing out and to finish off that
You know what?
build. Oh,
I didn't have your microphone on.
oh,
Sorry if you didn't hear Troy.
all right, we'll try again.
I didn't have his microphone on. That's my bad.
So the 213 is looking a lot on the dicey side. I'm getting updates on a daily basis. We had a shortage on one component, and I'm trying to get the build finished. Looking probably more like early next week.
All right.
Full disclosure.
All right. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
So bad news is not the 13th. Good news, early next week.
Early next week.
All right. It's looking like early next week for that UK shipment. So sorry to disappoint. All right. The next question along those lines is after they ship out from our Spanish facility
Right.
early next week,
Right.
about how long for them to get to the UK fulfillment center
about
and then
2
go
days.
out from there.
It's about 2 days.
Okay.
So what'll happen is the process is about 2 days. It goes by truck. It doesn't go. It's a truck container. It's not a shipping container. That would be far longer. So those will go to distribution. There will be a letter coming out that regarding VAT, and you'll have to go ahead and submit VAT, and then we will release the order after that. That's how we have to do that. The UK government likes their taxes, and they insist that they be collected. So that's not a change pre-Brexit, post-Brexit. You guys have had VAT. There is no additional duties on them, but you do have to pay VAT on the bikes.
Great. So the VAT, to confirm, because I was trying to speak on that earlier, but you're the expert. So it's the same before and after Brexit?
Yes.
Got it. Cool. So whatever it was before Brexit, it will be the same
Right.
after Brexit.
Correct.
Great. Okay, that was a big question.
Yep.
Any idea on a future shipment to Canada?
So when we talk about future shipments, so container 13 and container 14, I can talk those. Those are two of the next containers coming in. In fact, container 13 is here. It's at FedEx Freight now. Let's see, 14 I think is due next week. We've got about, what I say? I don't think I wrote it on this page. 1,700 bikes coming in the next week and a half, something like that. It's a lot of bikes. So what'll happen is Canada is being fulfilled out of Los Angeles. We decided to bring all the bikes through port in LA. It just made a lot more sense. We were going to bring in full containers, but once we did the math, it really didn't work out. And once we got past a couple containers, we weren't going to be able to do it again. So what's happened is we have two Canada heavy containers. Those are going to be moving out, and then Canada will be fulfilled with the rest of the U.S. bikes and Mexico. By the way, I know we have some Mexico orders. They felt a little bit neglected, but all of North America is being fulfilled out of Los Angeles. So the way that works is they'll come in FedEx Freight. They will go by FedEx Freight, palletized up to the border, and then they will clear customs there on an individual basis, and then they will be delivered by FedEx Ground at that point. So that's how that process is going to work. So it'll be a little bit longer to get to Canada than obviously the US because you've got a little customs to go through, probably a couple extra days there. But in some cases, like container 13 is here, we're just working out a couple of minor issues with FedEx, and then we're going to send them the labels and hopefully get those on their way to Canada. That's 370 bikes, I believe, out of the first. No, I'll take it back. That one is I'm sorry. Get my numbers right. 200 and about 15 bikes out of the first container and about 170 out of the next container. And then Canada will just fall in line and you'll fulfill by date order along with the US and Mexico.
Sweet. So
Yep.
first 385 or so
Right.
bikes
Correct.
are en route to Canada as we speak.
Well, they're One container in FedEx. The other container, unfortunately, that's the one that
Yeah.
has been, it's due in the next week. Container 14
Okay.
Yep.
So it's en route.
en route.
All right.
Absolutely.
Cool. That's what I mean when just for clarification, en route, somewhere between the
Yeah.
factory and your
It's
doorstep.
not in China. It's,
Right. It's been built
on a
and
boat or beyond.
it's being shipped to you. All right. Let's see. Where did we leave off? Alex says, patiently waiting for my Blue Raspberry Pro here in Germany. So excited. Thanks for working so hard. This is the big guy right here doing all the hard work with his spreadsheets. He came in. He has spreadsheets on paper now. It wasn't enough to have 5 monitors and be doing spreadsheets for 12 hours a day. But Troy's really busting his ass to make sure we do a quality job and do fulfill according to when orders were placed, et cetera, and make the most amount of you guys happy as soon as possible. So thank you for that. That really means a lot to hear from you, and also that you've been so patient thus far. Thank you very much, Alex.
Just a little data point, and maybe, hopefully you guys know this, but 48 different models of Baby Maker. Okay, so there's a lot of variation. I'll give you a North American number because I know those ones probably the best because they're the biggest numbers. You look at those 48 SKUs, the lowest volume one I think was 3 units.
Wow.
The highest volume one was about 1,800 or something like that. So you're talking about a big turn down. So when you say, well, why am I waiting? Because we'll build those 3 units and it'll fulfill it from April to literally the end of the campaign. So I see people on Facebook. I do look at that once in a while, and people say, well, how come they already got their bike? They'll say, well, I ordered in August. Well, because you ordered a really low volume one, we built all of them at once. They got fulfilled and they flowed through. If you ordered one of the high volume ones, we get 100 in at a time, and it fulfills a week of the campaign type of thing.
That's
so
a great point.
We're trying to balance that. It's tricky. It's a balance that we kind of a dance we have to do. It's not easy. We're going back while the Chinese New Year is going on. We have all these bikes on the water. Going to go back, kind of rebalance it. So when they come back, here's the build plan we'd like to move forward with. That's
a really good point. So if anybody didn't understand that, I'm going to explain it the way I would understand it. So I'm more of a simpleton than Troy. But so we've got 48 different variations of the bike. And for example, the lowest, do we know the lowest ordered variation? It's probably a Barry 19-inch dropper base model. Yeah, that's got to be it. Almost certainly. Yep. And Troy says we've got 3 orders for that bike in the U.S. So when we go and we paint the frames for the Barry 19-inch bike, maybe we'll paint 10 at a time, because we can't just paint one frame. We have buckets of paint that we have to use. So we paint 10 Barry 19-inch frames, and then we go through and we've got these frames. Okay, let's build bikes out of them. Basically, according to our build plan, there's always a few here and there, up and down, discrepancies between what we put in and what actually gets built. But these 3 bikes get built, and we only have 3 orders. One placed it in March, one placed it in May, and maybe one placed it in July. So you've got a variance from order number 300 all the way up to order number 11,000 maybe. Exactly. And we just so happen to have built 3 of these bikes. There's only 3 people who ordered them. So Troy looks, okay, who are the very first 3 people who ordered this variation? And he allocates the bikes to them. That's why you might see on Facebook or on Indiegogo, hey, I'm number 11,000. I ordered in October and I got my bike already. And then everybody thinks, what are they doing? They're playing favorites, etc. That's not it at all. We're doing our best to build these bikes. There are variations like Troy described there that would explain why some numbers look to be out of order. All right, thank you for that, Troy. Yep. That was a good clarity on that
clarification, issue. Which was twice as long as my original explanation.
I do my best. Yeah. All right. Ding says, thanks, guys. I missed your reply to an earlier question regarding additional tax in UK, which we wouldn't have had to pay if original delivery dates have been met. 20% is a big chunk extra to find. So, do you want to expand on that?
To my understanding, and it's been a while since I've been in the EU, but you guys have always paid VAT tax. So that didn't change. What happened was you had a clean Brexit with no additional fees or anything like that that took place. But to my understanding and everything that's been told to me, that VAT is VAT. It's always been in place, whether it came from within UK or came from the rest of the EU. You paid VAT on purchases.
Yeah, Ding, that does reflect all of our research and everything we've heard that whatever VAT was due before Brexit is exactly the same as after Brexit. So no change there. Timothy, is there any way to get a realistic time frame for deliveries?
Yes, I mean we just talked about the number of variations of bikes. We just put out 1700 in North America. We just put out 1,700 notifications with exactly that. We're saying, hey, your bike is due. Anticipated showing up mid-March or late March or early March type of thing. So that's about as good as we can do with the ones that we have right now, because again, we're dealing with one of my ships, container 12, has been sitting off the coast since 2/2, so it's been out there a week, or anchored. It hasn't hit a berth yet, so there's a lot of variation on the flow of this product.
Great. Hey, Matt Black says, appreciate the full disclosure for the UK. It's not long now, so a few more days is fine by me. Well done, guys.
We do appreciate the patience. I mean, it's no one's relaxing on this. I'm in communication with Spain and with China and all the rest of our distribution partners literally on a daily basis. It's kind of funny. You wake up in the morning, you check your phone, you got emails from Australia and New Zealand the night before, and China the night before, and Europe when you wake up, and you get on and get communicating with them because it's the end of their day when it's the beginning of our day, and it just never. And by the end of our day, China's starting to come online again. It's 24 hours. It never stops with a global supply chain like this.
Totally. Troy is a machine. He never stops. All right. Andrew says, why would the UK have to pay VAT pre-Brexit and not the rest of Europe? It doesn't make sense as we're all in the union.
No, the VAT is UK. There are other countries that do have that type of thing, but the UK has a VAT, and in actual, well, I don't go way into it, but there is actually some VAT being paid, but it's different.
So are there taxes due for the other European bikes before they ship?
Depending on the country, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So certain countries in the EU do have, the government does require a tax. So whatever the government says, legally we have to follow those rules, and the bike gets shipped once you pay a tax if it's due to your government. That's not us. Personally, I'm for small government and low taxes, right, as low as possible. So if I could do away with them, I certainly would.
Yeah. Don't confuse taxes with duties and tariffs, okay? Because pre-Brexit, post-Brexit, you didn't have any duties and tariffs, okay? And that is still the same. So, but are there still taxes due? Sure, absolutely.
Got it. Thank you for your specificity on that. I'll get in trouble because when I say tax, I mean any money that goes to the government.
Right.
All right. Let's see. All right, there are a few questions here that don't apply to Troy, so I will catch those after. And where did we leave off?
Well, I can do some filler in the meantime.
All right.
So, we'll go through the whole list. U.S. and Canada, about 642 bikes coming in the next week, in addition to what we've already got landed. So lots of bikes moving, and we'll be moving out. We've got about 200 batteries, people who ordered additional batteries. About 200 of those are being packed up. Those will be hitting those will be out by UPS. Right after that, the week after that, there'll be another 200 chargers, people who ordered additional chargers. Those will be going out. We already fulfilled, I think, 135 of those. There'll be another 200 coming out, and we've got more on the way. Australia, heartened to see lots of Facebook stuff of people with their bikes already getting together, riding together. We do have 24 people who have not paid. There is a GST in Australia. You got about 24 people who have not paid, including from Facebook, a couple who are complaining they haven't gotten their bikes yet. You need to pay your GST. So if you're in Australia and you haven't paid your GST, your bike is not going to get released. You need to pay that. And when you do that, please make sure to put your order number in the information, with the bank account and the rest of that, because a lot of people didn't do that, and we're trying to match them. We've got like 4 that we're having trouble matching right now, so we're going through and trying to match those. So if you paid and you don't have information, maybe because you did not put some proper information, we're trying to match by name and the rest of those things, and you might hear from our support group on that, just to verify that, so we don't release the wrong bike to because somebody else didn't pay.
Awesome.
All right.
Hey, Troy, I do have a few questions for you.
Oh, and
Yeah.
New Zealand is at 100%.
Yeah.
Not 99, they're done.
100%. Oh, we'll have to update that.
Yeah, so we have a couple other stragglers in there, but I'm actually going through, and I'll just fill you in, before I came in here, going through a build plan. There are a couple there's virtually 100%, but we got like 2 more bikes, I think, in New Zealand. We got some more in Australia. Doing the build plan, those will all be less than container load, since we won't push a full container. We can't justify it. But that'll be bikes, that'll be touring kits, that'll be extra batteries and chargers and all that stuff you guys ordered. So I'm putting that build plan together right now, and they'll hit that as soon as they come in off the Chinese New Year.
Awesome.
Yep.
All right, quick question. Final question, Troy. Of the U.S. bikes that are on the water from China, have all notifications been sent? Meaning, if we haven't gotten one, ours didn't make it out before the Chinese New Year? Thanks, FLX Rocks.
So when you say notification, so I sent allocation letters. The address notification or address verification is something different. But yes, if you did not get one of the allocation letters, then yeah, you're going to be waiting till after the Chinese New Year. Sorry, we got as many out as we possibly could. And when they come back, hopefully they're going to be grinding along. I mean, let's face it, they didn't completely deplete everything they had in China. So hopefully when they come back, there'll be some bikes they finish off, and we'll have containers back on the water shortly after that.
Yeah, we got some looking at some big numbers for March, correct, from facility 2 in China.
Yep, absolutely.
All right, Troy. Thank you so much for joining the live. We really, really appreciate all the hard, detailed, precise work.
Okay.
It's been a total blessing having you on these lives and making sure everybody's bikes go out.
Okay. You kicking me out, or can I say a couple more things?
All right, a couple more things.
Okay. So I did look up the Portugal order, Nuno, I think, or Nuna. Yeah, yours was one of the ones that was misfulfilled. That was the first shipment. You should have gotten. You do have tracking. I just sent an email to them asking, because it shows as you have a tracking number, but it shows that it's still awaiting pickup in the Netherlands. So I sent an email to that. I'll follow that up, and when I get information, I'll send that on to our customer service people. And then you mentioned Shopify orders also. You may want to repeat the thing about the whole numbering, but we are, just want to clarify, we're always going in date order. So Shopify orders are not jumping the queue or anything like that. We're fulfilling in date orders. So some Shopify orders are starting to move through by date.
Great.
Okay.
Website orders and
Website
Indiegogo orders,
sorry.
all by date.
Yep.
Awesome.
That's it.
Awesome, Troy.
Anything else?
Thanks so much for coming on. This was really, really a big help, and we'll see you next week.
Appreciate your patience, guys. They're coming.
Big round of applause for Troy. All right, there were a few questions that I missed because they were not relevant for Troy. So I'll be going back through those, and I believe we've got 2 more guests that will be on in the live. So try and go through these real quickly. All right. Andrew says, why was UK left last to be delivered, even in Europe, where I think we had the biggest volume? Thank you. Andrew, that's a good question. So the UK, we do have dedicated shipments there. We had to set up a new fulfillment center there. That was not ready as soon as our other European fulfillment center. So bikes in the UK do get sent from their own dedicated facility within the UK. That wasn't quite ready before our EU fulfillment center, which is a place we've worked with for the past 5 years already. So that was all ready to go. All the infrastructure was there. So the fastest way to get bikes out was to go the first shipment through that fulfillment center, and then UK came online shortly thereafter. All right, Timothy asked, is there any way to get a realistic time frame for deliveries? Timothy, unfortunately, right now, we can't give you an exact date on delivery. Over the next few months, virtually all the bikes will be shipped, and we do as soon as it leaves the factory and it's on the water, or shortly thereafter, we do send out a allocation email, which will give you a ballpark estimate of when it will get in and get shipped out to you. So keep an eye out on your email, and also the Indiegogo updates, which have more details. James, now that I have my baby maker, I will be unboxing it this weekend. Am I able to assemble the bike myself or take it into a bike shop to do that? Not sure if the electric parts need special tools. So James, as far as tools, everything you need to assemble the bike is in the box. If you're handy and you're confident in your abilities, you can do it yourself. If you've assembled a bike before and you're confident, and remember, you're taking complete responsibility for how you assemble this bike, you could do it yourself. This bike does go at high speeds, up to 28 miles per hour, and if you assemble it incorrectly, get the part wrong, like the front skewer, which holds the front wheel on, and you lose the wheel when you're going top speed, that's not going to be fun for anybody. So we recommend, if you're not confident in your abilities, to follow the video instructions. Please take it into a bike shop. Have them, if not assemble it for you, to at least check out your work after you've assembled it to make sure it is safe to ride. It is very easy to put together, but some folks are less mechanically inclined than others, and we have seen some interesting assemblies, to say the least. All right, we have a new guest in the show. Come on in, Alice. You're getting a round of applause right now.
Perfect.
All right.
I'm happy.
So, wanted to introduce you guys to Alice, and why don't you give us a quick background, 30 seconds, and you have to get a little bit closer to the microphone. 30 seconds about yourself, how you found the company, what you do here.
Okay, perfect. My name is Alice. I'm originally from Russia. Live in California for 2 years. Always was dreaming to be a digital marketing stuff. So I was basically like searching for a couple of years, was trying to learn myself, watching some courses and stuff, but realized the best way to do it and to learn more is to work with the company. So I searched for a couple of weeks and I found the FLX company that offered internship programs. So I was so happy to came, and I got this job after. So I came right before the Baby Maker campaign. So that's it.
Hell yeah.
And I'm still here.
So a large part of the reason that you guys are here is because Alice did a tremendous job at helping spread the word about these bikes. Just so you guys know how we look at it, we spent a tremendous amount of time creating the product, designing it, etc. But that means nothing if we can't share it with you and really get the word out and get more people on them. So that's Alice's job. If you saw a Facebook ad or a YouTube ad, etc., telling you about the baby maker, that was probably her handiwork. So you've done a tremendous job at bringing all these people together as the very first baby maker owners in the world.
Yep.
So awesome job. I'm going to give you another round of applause for that. All right. Can you tell us about your bike?
Absolutely.
What have you
So
got?
I actually want to share something before because I've never ridden the bike like electric bike before, and I've never owned the bike myself. So first time I rode electric bike, it was 2 years ago. I visited San Francisco and just vacation, and the best decision I could make, I rented the electric bike, and I rode it on Golden Gate Bridge, like back and forth, and I rode around downtown hills, and I just realized it's literally the best bike, like electric one I could get. So I was dreaming to get something for myself. Again, when I started working for FLX, I saw the baby maker, and I think it's the best fit for myself because it's so easy to assemble, and it's really lightweight, so I can carry it like up the stairs or like anywhere. Like I can put it in my trunk in the car so easily. And I got my baby maker a couple of weeks ago, and it's just literally changed the whole world for me. I live in downtown, and I love exploring city. I'm still new here, and I rode a baby maker like literally last weekend, first time. It was amazing. Just
Oh yeah,
yep,
super cool.
different level.
All right, Alice, what are the best and worst things about living in the U.S. or in California?
Okay, I will start with the worst. Food. I miss food, like Russian food.
Uh huh.
I just can't go to the restaurants here.
What one dish, if I could go to Russia and have the one dish that you're missing, what would it be?
Of course, borscht. It's our traditional food, soup.
Soup.
Beet.
Okay.
Yep, lots of beets, vegetables, and meat. Just love it. And pelmeni. It's like you have dumplings here,
Uh-huh.
so it's pretty similar.
Okay.
Just like a little different dough, I guess. Lots of pastries there. What else? Lots of stuff.
That's funny.
So I
Borscht.
still go to Russian grocery stores here.
Uh-huh. All right. Final question. Best thing about living in the U.S.
Okay. I would start specifically here in California. It's the weather because I'm from St. Petersburg. Really cold, no sun at all, always windy, cold, terrible. And here I've just enjoying sun every single day. And if it's raining, I'm still happy because I know tomorrow is going to be sun. What else? Just people. I like that people are always like happy. They open to help you. They smile and really, really open to help anybody if you have any questions. Yep.
Hell yeah. And you do a lot of traveling.
Oh, I love traveling. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Awesome. All right, Alice. Well, thank you so much for introducing yourself to everybody here. We appreciate you coming on. She was nervous about coming on the live, but she killed it. Thank you.
Thanks.
Appreciate you. She's a rock star. All right. Let's get back into these questions. It'll take me a sec to find where I was, but Chris Link says, "Gong Xi Fa Cai," Rob, for Chinese New Year's. "Gong Xi Fa Cai." Thank you, Chris. Thank you very much. Eugene says, "I have a suggestion, Rob," and it's great to hear from you, Eugene. "I have a suggestion, Rob. Give the low volume country customers a rebate based on their order numbers." I wish we could do that, Eugene. Thank you for the suggestion. Mark, if it's not here and not there, it's on its way. All right, Ray, we got that question. Eric, still awaiting delivery of the baby maker to Northern Ireland. Do you have any idea how long this will be? As I was told I'd be receiving it in September 2020 after I ordered it. Thank you. Eric, I don't have an exact date for you, unfortunately. We can't pinpoint exactly when it will arrive. I wish we could. We do have some charts up on our support website, which give a general guideline. Again, those are our best estimates based on what we know, and that's what when you ordered as well. That September was an estimate based on how production was looking. COVID kind of blew things up and made the components big delays on the components getting those in. So a lot of the bikes are past the initial estimates, but over the next few months, we expect virtually all of the bikes to be delivered. So keep an eye out. Please keep reading the Indiegogo updates. We'll keep you as informed as possible. And before you know it, the baby maker is going to arrive, and it will be well worth the wait. All right, we've got a new guest in the house. Ben.
Hey guys, how's it going? All right.
Ben's an absolute rock star. Why don't you pull that mic over right in front of you?
closer.
Yeah, a
All
little
right.
closer so we can hear that deep voice of yours. All right. So everybody's met Ben, I hope, and if you haven't, he came on to do content, right? And what do you do now?
A little bit of everything. Yeah, I started here just over three and a half years, something like that. Originally doing videos, then got into, the mechanical side of things, learning how these bikes work, and then did a stint on supply chain. So really just had my hands in a whole bunch of things going on. And especially with this baby maker, I kind of saw it from, the original inception, the idea, to the, design phase, then producing it, then shipping them, then delivery. So now it's come full circle, and I'm here with you guys, looking at all your posts of you guys, happy riders on those bikes. So it's really cool to see.
Hell yeah. What did you do last Friday? I think you sent out a few emails, right?
Yeah, so last Friday, in an attempt to be even more transparent and give you guys as much info as we can, I sent out about 17 to 1,800 emails to people whose bikes are about to be next in line. Now, these people probably don't have an address confirmation yet. We are not that far along in the delivery cycle, but what it was more of a notification to tell you, hey, mid to late March, something like that, your bike is expected and will be reaching out sooner. We're going to go ahead and try and do this more frequently, so you'll be informed along the way rather than just confirming your address and your bike is here. So we're going to try and add a whole nother step to this process to give you guys a little bit more heads up.
Hell yeah. You got a bunch of shout outs from your fans. Eugene says, what's up, Ben? Chris, hi, Ben. Good to see you again. Nice yellow shirt there. Mark, hello, Ben. Good to see you again. Alex, great to see you, Ben. A lot of fans. We appreciate you being on here. Okay, here's a great question for you. Daniel says, I just purchased an F5. Why don't you have a dedicated video promoting the F5? Any in the works?
So that's actually a great question. We don't have a video for the F5, but it is something we're working on. Our focus really has been those baby makers, but now what I'm really excited for is, we've reached the point where over 50% of these baby makers has been made. I can now start devoting my time back into the content, back into the filmmaking, back into the picture taking. And one of the things on our docket is to advertise more for that F5. As you know, it is the 5th iteration of one of our best-selling models. And we just don't have a whole lot of content on it now, so we are looking to take those bikes up to the mountain, do some actual trail riding on the trails, and hopefully get some footage out to you guys so that you can see it.
Yeah, it's been crazy with those models. We develop them so fast. By the time we can film a video, the first model is already completely sold out, and the next model's on the way. So we're chasing our tail a little bit with those videos. And Ben is our main content guy, and we've put so much on his plate from customer service. He's been a tremendous help there, answering emails, helping the team out there, really taking any need we've got. Supply chain, we had somebody that had to leave due to an emergency unexpectedly, and he just jumped right in there and filled in for like 6 weeks until Troy came in. So finally, we're on top of production. Everything is running smoothly. Bikes are being built, shipped very smoothly, and Ben can take a step back into his real forte, which is that content building. So you'll be seeing a lot more hot content from us coming out soon. Chris says, "Don't forget my bikes, Ben."
Hey, Chris, I got you. I made a note. Don't worry about it.
Awesome. Chris is probably the most vocal on these lives. He's here every time and always cheering us on. We really appreciate that, Chris. All right, there's been a lot of questions about the VAT. I'll cover those after this, but let's see if there's any other questions for Ben. Why don't you tell us a little bit about the weapon
Oh,
while
so
we're waiting on questions?
yeah, no worries. We have a new bike in the works. It's going to be FLX's sort of premier bike, a full suspension, carbon fiber mountain bike with top of the line components. If you've seen a few of our ads, we're kind of showing renders, we're hinting at it, and we're currently working on a prototype. But that's something that's been in the works for how long now, Rob?
Since like 2017, 2018?
Yeah.
3-4 years.
Yeah, 3-4 years it's been on the docket, but it's been one of those things, not that's been overlooked, but we've really been sitting on it because we wanted to wait until the technology was there to support it and make sure that we had the infrastructure ready to get a top of the line bike into your hands. We want to make sure we nail this on the head. So that is one of those cool things we're working on. If you are interested or in the market for a full suspension e-bike, that's something that's coming out here within the next few months. We're planning on doing a whole nother crowdfunding campaign to get that rocking and rolling.
Hell yeah. We're so excited about that. And the timing on that, by the way, basically once all the baby makers have shipped, you can expect that weapon to drop. It is a premium bike, so it's got a much higher price tag than the baby maker. But for the folks who want to do some crazy downhill riding, it's a cool option.
Oh yeah, it's looking to be a lot of fun. And on fun, I just wanted to congratulate all the Aussies out there. A lot of you guys have been paying those GSTs, so they're starting to be delivered. And I think I mentioned this last time I was on here. One of my favorite things, since I'm usually the guy taking pictures, is to actually see yours. Tons of people have been posting in the Facebook pages. They got their baby maker. They go on rides. So that's just something I'm so excited to see. And I'm sure you're even happier that you're actually out riding. For those of you waiting, we want to say thank you so much for your patience. We are working hard. But when you do get those bikes, please post them. Please tag us. We'd love to see you. Every week, or is it monthly, we have a Rider of the Week?
Rider of the Week.
Rider
Yeah,
of the
Rider
Week.
of the
So
Week.
every 7 days, we're trying to feature you guys. If you have any cool pictures, please feel free to post those, tag us. We love to see them.
Hell yes. All right, final question, Ben. Are all the delivery emails coming from an FLX address? I don't want to miss it.
Yes, all of our emails in regards to your address confirmation will be coming from a @flx.bike email address. Now, you will get tracking once your bike is on its way, and that will come up from a FedEx email address. So that's the one thing that's a little bit different. Our carrier will actually be in charge of notifying you because they slap the label on, scan it, and that's when that email goes out. But we will be emailing you from usually shipping@flx.bike, asking you to confirm your address. Not sure if Sarah mentioned this, but if you aren't sure what email we have for you on file, or if you've updated it, changed it, that sort of thing, please shoot us a quick message to support@flx.bike, just saying, hey, my name is Ben, my order number is 123, and this is the email address I would like for you to contact me at, and we can go ahead and update that for you guys.
Awesome. All right, Ben, thank you so much for coming on the live and for all the hard, consistent work. He's here working late to make sure, things function. He's really like a glue that holds this place together. So great work, Ben. We appreciate you. Big round of applause.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right, Ben. Okay, if you feel like I've missed your question, that's not my intention at all. I will be going back through here, and I've only really given relevant questions to the relevant guests on the show. And we are over time now, but I'm going to make sure every single one of you gets an answer to your questions before we end this live. So, lightning round here. Let's go. All right, I'm just going to comb through these and see if there were any missed. And if you don't hear from me in the next 5-10 minutes of these questions, once I get to the bottom, then you can ask it again. All right. Tim says, I'm waiting for my baby maker. I'm also thinking of also purchasing a mountain bike from FLX. Is there a waiting list for those too? Tim, great question. We actually just got a handful of those in stock in very limited quantities. So please go to our website, www.flx.bike. There you can see there's a bike section, a mountain section. Once you go to the mountain bike section, you'll see any mountain bikes that are available in stock. If it doesn't say pre-order on it and you can order it, that means it's in stock for pretty much immediate fulfillment. We obviously don't have any baby makers up on the site because those are back ordered for quite some time, but we do have a handful of mountain bikes that have just arrived and they are going very, very fast. They usually only last about a few days before they go completely out. If you're interested in that, please check it out ASAP. Marion, suggestions for airline transport bags for the baby maker. I would recommend a hard case, Marion. And one thing to keep in mind, there is a battery in the baby maker which is above the capacity limit for batteries that you can take on traditional air transport. I'm going to adjust the camera here a little bit. So the official limit for batteries is typically 100 to 150 watt hours that you can take on an airplane without some special permission. The baby maker is 252 watt hours. So it's 50% to 2 times that limit. So unfortunately, that battery is too big to take on a traditional airline, so we can't recommend that for you. You may need to remove the battery and ship that a separate way. That's also a reason why we can't airship the bikes to people. All right, combing through these questions. Most of these have been answered. Chris, saw your ride on the Phantom, made me want to buy it, Rob. That's great to hear, Chris. That's a super fun board. If you guys didn't know, we also make our sister company, Electric Skateboards. We're all in the same office, so we kind of share resources. Anything that Miles is the name of the company, do that can help FLX out, FLX will borrow those resources, and vice versa. Oliver, just want to say hey to you both, and I'm still waiting for my Baby Maker Pro. Hey, Oliver, great to have you on here. Thanks for watching. Timothy, are the dropper frames different from bullhorn frames? Timothy, those should be the same frame. It is a different frame for the Standard and Pro due to having a cutout for the belt to go on the Pro models. Oliver, how many orders do you have from Germany and how many are already shipped? Don't want to have many more than me. Want to ride a special one here in my area. Oliver, I'm sorry, I don't have the exact number to answer that question. I'm sure that's something we could pull up, but it will be a special bike for you. You guys are the very first ones to get baby makers around the world, so they are complete head turners when you go out, and it's really cool because a lot of people have seen the videos for it and have looked at the campaign. It's really cool when you go out riding, at least around here, people will stop us all the time and say, hey, is that a baby maker? It's really, really special, and I'm excited. I hope you have the same experience when you get your baby maker. All right. Tim, are the deliveries for the Netherlands coming from the Spain factory? Yes, they are, Tim. And we have been delivering bikes to the Netherlands already. And in fact, our fulfillment center is based in the Netherlands. So once it gets to the fulfillment center, you'll have a very short trip from there to your door. All right, there's some comments here about the VAT and sales tax. I don't know a lot about that. That's my weak point. The numbers, finances. We have experts do those things for us. So I'll do my best to provide insights where I can, but without sticking my foot in my mouth. Mark Wilson says VAT is standard on all UK imports and always has been. That was our understanding as well, Mark. Thank you. Nuno asked, there's taxes for Portugal. I'm not sure on that. If there are any taxes due when your bike gets shipped, you'll get an email from us. For the U.S., there is none, but for different countries, most different countries, there may be some tax levied by your government. And when I say tax, I mean additional fees. That could be VAT, GST, duty, any of those. That's what I mean when I say tax, to avoid any confusion. Antonio, anything coming from Maryland? Yes, I believe we shipped many bikes in Maryland already. All 50 states, including Alaska and Hawaii, have been receiving bikes. Bondi Peter says, Troy, will the carrier leave the bike if no one at home? I have paid GST. No updates yet. So Bondi Peter, wherever we can, we do ask for a signature. I'm not sure if we were able to do that in Australia or not, but at least in the US, a signature is required. Every once in a while, the delivery driver will come and sign it himself or do something funny that is completely against FedEx policies. So that's not the standard, but it is an exception. It can happen. So we do recommend keeping an eye on the tracking. Once you do get your tracking number, please keep an eye on it and try to be there the day it's delivered. It's going to be an exciting day, but we have seen a couple bikes go missing, unfortunately. It's a crying shame, and we'd hate for that to happen to you. All right. Andrew, some more numbers on the VAT. I don't have a full grasp on the VAT stuff, so I won't comment on that. It's about the VAT percentages in different countries. What I can say is if there are taxes required by the government when it ships, you'll probably be receiving an email from us that explains how to pay those so you can get your bike. Timothy, thanks. Good luck getting them all out in good shape. Hey, thank you, Timothy. We appreciate that. Andrew says, can't wait to get mine. Too bad I'm literally the last campaign sale. Wow, Andrew, when did you order? All right, Austin, again, asking for some more clarity on the VAT. Yep, Austin, depending on where you are, once your bike is allocated and at the distribution center, we will be sending you an email explaining any fees that are due for VAT, duty, etc., and exactly how to handle those. So keep an eye out if you're waiting on the bike. You can expect that if it's required for your country by your government. All right, almost caught up on these questions. Mike asks, have your stocks of the old displays been exhausted and EU backers from now on will receive the new one? Mike, I don't have the answer to that question. Unfortunately, I wish I did. I'll check in with our production department and hope to have that answer in the next one. Raz asked, new display at cost for us old VIPs. I like the idea. We will think on that. We've got a phrase here. It's called TOI. Think on it. David, hey Rob, patiently waiting for my BM in the UK. If I were to order a Miles Phantom board, what would be the current estimated delivery on that? Great question, David. So the Miles Phantom boards, that's the skateboard that Miles Board launched in November. The first of those have shipped to the US, and the international board should be shipping in March. And it might be late February, March, but if you order now, you're probably looking at like March, April. I believe that's the current estimates on the site, March, April. Chris, how much will the weapon price be? So there's two models of the weapon, Chris. Check out the link just below your comment. You'll be able to find more information on that. We don't have a final price for it. It will be a premium product though, and there's going to be basically two levels of that bike. One is a standard. It's an aluminum frame bike, super capable, full suspension mountain bike. That's kind of your everyday full suspension electric mountain bike. That's going to be a lower cost. And then there's the top top of the line. It's meant to compete with like the Specialized Heckler $14,000 bike. So the retail's going to be up in there just because of the parts we use are super premium, not cheap components, just amazing high level stuff. The retail price is going to be close to that. However, we are offering a huge discount to the VIP people who sign up on that page, very similar to what we did with the Baby Maker. All right, Noggin30 says, little concerned about what Ben said about letters he just sent, saying to expect bikes in mid-March. My bike was due in December, and I have not received a letter. Hey, Noggin, good question. So that December date you're talking about, that was probably an estimate, a shipping estimate, which is when we made the campaign, our best estimate of when those bikes would be able to ship out from our factory. Our estimates, unfortunately, weren't perfect, and that's why they were estimates. So we had no way of anticipating COVID kind of blowing up the entire bike industry, selling out every single component around the world. It's been completely nutty, but as of this day, we've fulfilled over half of all the baby makers around the world. It's been no small feat. I know you're anxious and waiting for the bike, and that's totally on us. But once you do receive that email from us that says your bike has allocated, that's when we actually do have a much higher level of certainty on where your bike is at in the process, because that means it's been completely built, it's shipped out from our factory already, and it's probably on a shipping container. And at that point, we've got a much better guess of how long it will take. There is some discrepancy due to sometimes a shipping container hits the port and they're not even able to dock it because there's so many ships waiting to dock. Sometimes it can be at water for like 2 weeks, just waiting for a parking spot basically at the port. Then it gets in, and sometimes customs will halt a container and say, hey, we need to inspect it. It's going to be another couple weeks, etc. So we do our best to give a ballpark once it's allocated, saying, okay, mid-March, early March, etc. Once you get that email, it should have a better time frame where you can kind of pinpoint your bike delivery down to a couple week time frame and not just be guessing continually. So once your bike goes out, you get that email, you have much better clarity. Jonathan, same thing. Can you discuss delivery based on purchased in June 2020? So same answer there. We can't tell you exactly when it will be there until you get that allocation notification. That's when you really get a much better level of certainty on where it is. Everybody else, though, bikes are in production. You know, we ordered everything during the campaign to build all these bikes. That's when production started during the campaign. And it's just been a waiting game, waiting. Okay, come on, deliver us more components, get as many components at one time. And the components have been coming in batches. And as soon as they come in, that's when we really build all the bikes, put them together, ship them out from the factory, and deliver them to you. So I can't give you an exact date, but I can say within the next few months, virtually all the bikes will be shipped out. Chase says, we just got our bikes and it is great. Hey, cheers for that, Chase. I'm really glad you like the bike. It's great to see you on the live. Even though you've already got your bike, thank you for participating and letting us know. I'm really excited to see photos of you and your baby makers. I'm getting some cotton mouth here. We do just have a few questions left, though. So once I get through those, we will be ending the live. Jarhead says, hey, Rob, got 768 miles so far on the Baby Maker, baby. Jarhead, that is awesome. And that's definitely more riding than I've even done in the past few months here. So congratulations on that. I'm happy to hear it. Joshua says, sorry if I missed this, but how many Baby Makers were sold? Joshua, around 10K. If you look at the campaign, I don't have it pulled up, but it will tell you how many backers there are. So that's a good indication there. Chris, last question, Rob. If, for example, there are some of my friends' interested with my Baby Maker bike after they see it, do I get permission from you to sell it to them with recent price, Rob? Chris, that's a great question because we are sold out for so long. right now, and you are in in another country, not the U.S., which is our main market. So that's something. Once you get your baby maker, that's probably a conversation for that time, and we'll see where we're at in production and if we can provide more bikes to your location. Jarhead, hey Rob, I see the rims have Schwab rim tape. Does that make them suitable for tubeless tires if I change out the stem and get tubeless tires? Jarhead, I don't have the answer on that. I don't believe they are tubeless ready. You could try it. You know, there's loads of tubeless kits. I don't know if it's going to work. It would be a fun experiment, but as far as I know, they are not tubeless ready rims. Andrew said he ordered June 7th, the last day of the campaign. That's funny. So, Andrew, there have been orders after you, actually. There's been quite a few orders after you. I know you got it on the last day of the campaign. After that, we did raise the prices a little bit, and more orders came in. So, there are some people after you. You're not dead last yet. Alan Santos, hey man, glad you're in good health. How much does the FLX Bandit take to ship in California? Alan, it should be free shipping. So we pay for the shipping. It costs us a fortune to ship those bikes because they are big and we have to ship the whole bike basically assembled. So the Bandit costs us a fortune, but we eat it. We take it out of my paycheck and ship that bike to you free of charge in California. I believe there's a few in stock right now, and we're not getting any anytime soon. They're going to be sold out after that. So if you're looking at that, jump on it soon because our stock will not last. Black Dog says, Andrew Pullen, I'm stuck with you, 11865 on June 7th. Chris, thank you, Rob, for this live. God bless you and your team always. All right, that's a great one to end the live with. And the final question of the day. Thank you, everybody, for joining the live. We really appreciate having you on here. And even more so, thank you so much for your patience. I know the deliveries haven't gone as estimated for a lot of you guys out there, and that's on us. Apologies, we didn't have the foresight for the explosion from COVID, but the entire team is working their butts off, not only us internally, also our partners at the 3 factories around the world. Tremendous amounts of bikes have been shipped, over halfway there, and all the bikes will be going out over the next few months. So thank you, everybody, for your patience. If you're wondering where your baby maker is, it is in production, and it will be with you soon, and it will be well worth the wait. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe so you can see the next one, and we'll see you next week.